Hello, fight fans, and welcome to Rugged Rob's Combat Corner, where combat is always king. I have a very, very special guest today. Her name is Wendy Casey. How you doing today, Wendy?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
That's great. To give you a little background on Wendy, you started fighting back in 2006?
2005 was my first fight.
2005 was her first fight. I seen her go up the ranks. She's part of the legendary UB Boxing Club, which Dean Eoanou built that from brick by brick. And if you're familiar with the UB Boxing Club from back in the day, the one thing I can say about their fighters is they're extremely tough. Being on the campus of UB, you guys kind of got a late start in boxing, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, so when you fought a UB fighter, I used to tell everybody this, they're in shape and they're tough and they throw a lot of punches. And slowly but surely, you guys began to build your reputation as a fight team. Mm-hmm. And like I said, Dean Eoanou was the heart and soul of that squad. And he put a lot of time in it, and he actually made those kids better and became very competitive. Now, I wanted to ask you, who's your coach currently?
Dean is still my coach. Dean has always been my coach. The only time someone else has ever coached me is when I'm fighting for the U.S. national team, because he's not a U.S. national coach, so he's actually not allowed to coach me during those events.
Okay, I was going to get to that.
Yeah.
But since we started talking about that, now, Wendy is the most accomplished and most decorated amateur fighter in our region. Are you not?
Yeah.
Okay, she has national titles, state titles, international competition. You name it, she got it. But she took some time off. You took like, what, 2-3 years off?
7.
7?
Yeah.
Was it that long?
Yeah. From 2008 till, what, just a couple years ago, 2015, 16? Yeah.
Okay, well, I remember in your absence, I used to see female fighters, and I used to always say, man, if they fought Wendy, it'd be a different story. Now, if you've never seen Wendy fight, I like to call you the mauler. Her style is, she's such a strong girl.
Like a bear.
Like a bear. She'll get you in close quarters and hit you to the body, hit you to the face. Next thing you know, you're on the floor. But it served her well. Like I said, she made the U.S. travel team, U.S. boxing team, and you recently went to was it Poland?
Poland, yep.
Now, how was that experience?
That was really good. It was different. It was the first time not being coached by Dean. I had to go to a training camp beforehand, so I was at training camp for about 10 days. I had to get to know the coaches that I was going to work with, and they started training me 3 times a day with doing more intense weight training than I was used to. So I was suddenly really sore and not really comfortable, but I knew that I had what it took to carry me through regardless of what I did with them. So I was still pretty confident going into the tournament.
So it was a tournament?
It was, yeah.
Who was there?
There was a bunch of different countries there. I fought Azerbaijan. I fought, oh my gosh, I can't even remember. I want to say I fought Russia. I know Australia was there. Okay. Finland was there. Okay. I mean, there was quite a few. I think there were 8 people in my weight class, and there were other men's categories that were a lot fuller too. So there were quite a few countries represented.
I saw a lot of the pictures that you posted on Facebook. Looked like a great experience. You got a little sightseeing.
Yep. Okay. We got to go see old Poland, which was really cool.
Okay, I want to address the elephant in the room right now. It's funny to me, but I remember you posted a shot where, you know, in the mirror and you were showing off your 6-pack. And I said, I guess it's time to do laundry. And I was referring to her 6-pack because it was like a washboard stomach. But she took it like, oh, I guess you don't like my clothes? I'm like, let me quick respond to this so we can clean this up. So I don't have to deal with that when I see her. But you train really hard, and it really shows. Now, where does all that commitment come from?
I don't know. I've always been really driven. I don't do a lot of things in my life, but what I do well. and I really pride myself on that. That's always just been something that's been instilled in me growing up. My parents really taught me that. You know, if you're gonna do something, do it well, do it all the way. Don't stop halfway through. And you know, not that I haven't left a few projects here and there incomplete, but you know, we all do that. So yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I mean, I've just always wanted things, and if I decide I want something, I'm not gonna stop until I get it.
Okay. Now, you're from Binghamton, New York.
Yes.
And I remember interviewing you a while ago. You don't remember, but I was in this actual room. And
seems like a lifetime ago.
the one thing I took from it was you used to wrestle in high school.
I did, yep.
Now, with that wrestling and grappling background, have you ever considered MMA?
I have, but I want to finish my boxing career first because there's always a risk of other injuries and new injuries and things like that. And I've always kind of said I like my face. You know, they don't really use the big gloves.
Right. They use I think the 4-ounce or 6-ounce gloves.
Yeah. But I think, you know, maybe after 2020 it's something I might consider. But I don't know. It depends.
Looks like Rugged Rob got the exclusive.
Depends on what kind of opportunities present itself, you know?
Okay. Well, you want to join you want to make the 2020 Olympic squad.
Yes.
And that's, what, 2 years away? Mm-hmm. And you're going to fight on the Golden Gloves card?
Yeah, I'm going to try to.
You can find your matchup?
Yeah, we're going to try again this year. I actually have a couple ideas of some people we might be able to call, but we'll see. I'm going to wait to see how everything turns out at the end of the month.
Now, I interviewed Kristen McMurtry. Mm-hmm. She's, I call her the face of Buffalo boxing, but you're the heart and soul of Buffalo boxing. You actually go out there, and when they say, well, you know, who's in the Adirondack region or who's in Western New York, your name comes up.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're the truth. I'm not gonna take that away from you.
Thank you.
But at the same time, it's difficult to find female opponents in this region. It's almost hard to find male opponents in this region. Mm-hmm. Now, do you, like Kristen travels a lot to find fights. Do you travel as much?
I have in the past, not really so much since I've come back. I've pretty much just stuck to going to certain tournaments because at a tournament, you know, you're going to get 2, 3, 4 fights. It's, you know, not traveling for one fight. Right. It's kind of tough, you know, no offense to Kristen, but she's younger. She doesn't have, you know, a mortgage and a car payment and all that stuff hanging over her head. So it's harder for me to take the money and take the time to go away like that. So when I do, I want to make sure it's for quality opponents that are at a high level tournament, and you know, I'm going to get more than one fight.